for the last 2 years, Turkey has been accused a lot about the unwilling partner of signing the transit agreement and the Shah Deniz development agreement with Azeris. Now it's done, and now it's the time for the U.S. and for other Western countries to work out how we can design a policy that we can reach east of Caspian, which we failed miserably during the late 90s and early 2000s. And if we can't reach out Turkmenistan, I think the sustainability of all the fourth corridor is in question, and the Turkey's role as an energy hub is in question. And I must add that Iran should be also a part of the picture, and all energy experts agree that the current isolation of Iran, the second biggest gas resource country in the world and significant oil producer, cannot be kept out of the European and Western markets for so long for various reasons, for obvious reasons. This has to be included, and I am sure that Iran will knock on Turkey's door after signing the Azeri agreement, actually, to have a similar kind of agreement for their own resources as well. And if we consider the Nabucco, for instance, the project here that everyone talks highly about, it's not a game changer project in the sense that it's just going to address the 3 or 5% of the 2020 gas demand of Europe. But it is a game changer in a sense that it will start a new process like BTC did. It's going to be the first project that will have the bypassing only one country, or Russia and Ukraine. And it's going to serve, as BTC did, as being the first and only pipeline which goes independently from the Caspian region of Russian domination. But Turkey also plays a very good, energy cooperation model with Russia as well. And in that, actually, the entrepreneurs led the way for the strategic cooperation that we are seeing in development with Russia now. And as a matter of fact, I mean, there is this change of paradigm here with Turkish-Russian relationships, and especially the Turkic countries that, Ian, you asked this question earlier, but I think it speaks to as an answer that now Kazakhstan and other Central Asian countries are thanking Turkey for improving relations with Russia, and they feel very secure in terms of promoting their own bilateral relations further with Turkey. They don't feel any pressure right now, being closer to Turkey, which would mean, opposing Russia. That equation is gone now. They feel much more comfortable in going forward. And look at the Samsun Ceyhan pipeline now. Russia is committed to supply oil to that pipeline. And we heard that Bulgarian government withdrew its support for Burgas Alexandropol's project, and now it's Samsun Ceyhan is being in the front lines, and it's going to succeed. And Kazakhstan also wants to commit oil to that pipeline. So I think beyond that, I should underline what can be done between Turkey and U.S. actually on energy field. I think they both should continue encouraging the Iraqi authorities to develop oil and natural gas fields in parallel fashion, and reiterate to the Iraqi side the importance of the south-north axis, and in this respect of a natural gas pipeline to be built parallel to the existing Kirkuk-Ceyhan oil pipeline. And a couple of months ago at the Sierra conference in Houston, Texas, Doug Hengel, U.S. Department of State's Deputy Undersecretary for Middle East and Energy Issues, said that the national hydrocarbon law could be part of the Iraqi government formation negotiations. That was a good idea, but I've heard nothing about it since then. And we all know that that's a total mess, and how that's going to be resolved, no one knows. But definitely U.S. and Turkey can work together to convince the parties that this is in their best interest to pass this legislation, to pave the way of the new projects. And third area, I would say both sides should work together about the Kazakhstan also. Ambassador mentioned about this organization of conference on interaction and confidence building measures that Turkey will chair. And there was this summit meeting in Istanbul a couple of days ago, and they should both work on, both on oil and gas shipments through the Caspian towards the BTC and BTE pipelines. And I think that it's a better atmosphere we have right now, and we have to take advantage of this new relationship and new atmosphere. And the last but not the least, the opening of the negotiations with the European Union on the energy chapter is a must. And there is no excuse that I can think of from the EU side why they cannot start this negotiations so far. And US support is valuable and important to let them understand, to pave the way for further cooperation in this or that. And just last word about the prospects, about, more generally in energy security in Eurasia. At best, I would say it's mixed, and without forceful US action and involvement and engagement there, Europe will let a Trans-Caspian pipeline project or any connections across the Caspian and Nabucco and White Stream wither. And with only Azerbaijan able to maintain marginal energy independence, region will not serve the energy security of the region best. Thank you very much. I will leave it there and looking forward to questions.
Tuncay, thank you very much for that, which fills in a lot of very useful detail and gives us a lot to think about on the energy side. I'm going to turn to Ambryn Zaman now. Ambryn, I think, is going to tell us a little bit about an issue that sometimes emerges in Washington having to do with Turkish-Armenian relations. Ambryn, please.
Thank you very much. It's a great privilege to be here today. And yes, as Ian pointed out, I will be talking about Turkish-Armenian relations. They have a very special place in my heart. In fact, I've spent much of the past 3 years shuttling between Turkey and Armenia. And today at this conference, I've heard terms like strategic cooperation, alliances, and a lot of realpolitik. The Turkish-Armenian issue is actually a profoundly moral one, and I believe that until Turkey deals with it openly and honestly, and I'm talking about the great tragedy of 1915, I don't believe that Turkey, my country, can claim to be a fully fledged Western-style democracy, nor can it make peace with itself. Let's not forget that 60% of the population of the Republic of Armenia is originally from Turkey, and I won't go into the details of the circumstances of how they got there. And I believe that we all know somewhere deep down that some terrible things happened to the Armenian people in our country. I believe that the ghosts of the Ottoman Armenians continue to haunt us collectively, and this was very much in evidence at the funeral of my very dear friend, the late Hrant Dink, the newspaper editor. More than 100,000 people showed up at his funeral. I was there, and these were people, just ordinary people, accountants, people who worked in grocery stores. They were not politicized, but they somehow felt compelled to be there that day. Moving on to diplomacy, I think that Turkish-Armenian reconciliation could have been the greatest success story of the AK Party's foreign policy, but unfortunately I regard it as one of its biggest failures because there was a huge opportunity missed.